All right, it depends on where your screen is, and as you get set up, you'll start to pick these up. But on the right-hand column are all the different sideboards that look for layers. And if you go to Window, it has all of them listed as well. So the layers show me that I have a blank layer at the top, and the eyeball lets me hide whatever's on that layer, and right next to it is a lock that lets me lock it off. But there's a guides layer, and then the scanned image of the logo, and then this top layer. So when I look at this, I'm trying to uh, examine the logo. It's a symmetrical type logo, and I want to see what the easiest way is to make this. So I'm going to take the pen tool, and the fill and the stroke is, the fill is white, the stroke is black. So I'm just going to take the fill off and just kind of take a look at this logo and say, okay, looks like it's going to be the same thickness. So I'm going to click and just let go of the mouse, set a point. I'm going to click up here and just outline this left-hand side of it. Come down to the bottom, and I want to hold the shift key down. It makes it a perfectly vertical segment. And then when I drag the mouse over, it's going to give me this purple line which intersects the top point that I just made. And that's what they call the smart guide. So I'm just going to click that point, and then just come right back up to the top of this and click on there. So what I've done is I made this, the Y for Yosef right there. If I go to the fill and the stroke, I can swap this out so that it has that stroke back and forth, just to show it to you. And I want to duplicate this and flip this on its side, so I select it. And now I need another tool, so I'm going to go into the toolbar. Hopefully you have your advanced tools listed in here. The three buttons down below are going to give you that, and that'll give you all the tools that you need. Okay? And if you need the sub-menu that's up here for advanced. Okay? So inside this tool, you come down, I think it's the 6th, 7th tool, there's a rotate tool. I'm going to click on that and go to reflect. And once I have reflect open, I'm going to come to this Y, and I want to put it right on the right-hand edge of this, and I'm going to hold the Option key down and click, and that makes a copy of it. Gives me this window, and I can select a copy, which is going to put one right on the side. So now I have this shape. So I want these to be together, so I'll select them both by just marquee selecting around both of them, and just move it so you can see that they're there, and undo it to put it back. And there's a couple ways to make it into one shape under a window called Pathfinder, which is right here. It's also listed right here. And the first keystroke on the top left will combine them into one shape. So that's the piece. So he has a kind of an outline. So the stroke up at the top is going to give me where I can make it a little thicker, and it's in increments of points. And the fill, I'm going to go down here and click on this control panel. Window, if you don't have the control panel up, it's under Window at the top for control. And I'm just going to click on this and make it a gray, because it looks like it's shaded in like that. Okay? But if I want to, I can keep it unshaded for now, just so I can do the outline drawing of everything. The next part he has is this aligned segment on the left-hand side, and when I move this out of the way, I can see it kind of overlaps this a little bit. So I'll put Edit, Undo, and make that a little bit smaller. So I'm going to bend this around this way, and I'll use the pen tool again. And let's see, I'll go, maybe I just draw it on the edge just to show it to you. And come all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to hold the Shift key down again to make it straight, and then come back up and curve it up like that. And then the pen tool is still selected. If I hold the command and click, it'll deselect it, or if I just click on the tool in the toolbar. So now I have this particular segment, and again, I can make this a little bit thicker or smaller, that type of thing, but that gives me this selection on the right-hand side. Okay? Down below, there's this section that he has kind of shaded in, so I want to try to combine that. Okay? So what I can do, I'll zoom into it so you can see it. Spacebar allows me to bring it up. I'll click on it, and now I'm going to cut this across here. So I'm going to go into this tool, it looks like an eraser, click on it, and get the scissors tool, and just put it right over the path, and it'll put a point right on top of that and cut that. So now I have this section right here, which is cut off. So I just move it, but put undo, and it puts it exactly back to where it belongs. And then I can go to Object and Path, and I can join this or hit Command J, and it'll make that connection. Okay? And then that way I can fill that up with a color. In this case, it's just going to use it as a value for starters. So I'll just make it a gray shape. So I'm just going to zoom out and come down this way here and see what I have. So now I have this shape, and I make a selection now to flip it on the other side. I'm just going to go to Object and group it together, or you can right-click on it. And here's Group at the top. And now I want to flip aside on the other piece, so I'm going to do the reflection again and hover over the center of this mouse and just hold the Option and click, and it'll reflect it on the opposite side, and just put a copy down for that one. And that gives me that particular shape. So depending on how I want this to overlap or keep this set up, I can take the center part that's the Y and give it a gray filling, and give the stroke a little bit thicker stroke, just so you can see it. And you can see it kind of overlaps, so I'm just going to bring the letter Y, and you can right-click on this too, that's another way to do it, and just arrange and bring it to the front. And now I have that shape for that logo. So then I go to the Layers panel, and I just hide this, and I hit the Tab key, which is going to lose all my tabs, and now I can use Command-Shift-4, turns to a crosshair where I can drag a box, and before I let go, I'm just going to hold the space bar to move it up and compose this selection and give myself that click on to get that shape. And that's all it is to it. Now there's a number of ways to do it, but that's one simple way just to show it's a symmetrical piece, going horizontal, vertical, flipping it. There's ruler guides in there that you can also set, but I didn't use them on this one. Give that a try there.